using physical therapy or even some allopathic medicine with the Ayurvedic medicine. You did tell us about the pain management, and actually I was very interested in knowing that. Are there any some herbs or something that you are using that I can use to give my patients, of say arthritis? I'm giving some other medicines like Celebrex or Meloxicam. Maybe I can mix this with them to have the less side effects of the other medicines. Do you have any specific examples of that? Or it doesn't have to be medicine, it doesn't have to be herbs, but in other Ayurvedic remedies like Shirodhara or I don't know what, but whatever.
Sure. So specifically as it relates to physical therapy, because I do see a lot of patients with bone, joint and spine issues and knee and hip replacements and basically anything related to musculoskeletal issues. I see a lot of patients with spinal problems, disc bulge, disc herniation, and I of course follow the physical therapy, evidence-based protocols for those, right? And I do whatever is needed, flexion bias, extension bias, usually extension bias protocols for exercise protocols for that kind of a condition. But what I've seen in my practice is if I do just exercise versus if I do exercise with Kati Basti, which everybody familiar with Kati Basti?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if I do Kati Basti along with the physical therapy protocol, I see good results. I've had patients who've come in with radiating pain and literally with about 3 to 5 sessions of Kati Basti, the pain recedes and centralizes, and they have so much better improvement in their pain levels, anxiety levels, because of the pain, and fear also improves because they are fearful of sitting, standing, doing stuff. So I've seen that. Along with that, of course, different Ayurvedic oils like Mahanarayan Tel is used for Kati Basti or Sahasrari Tel is used for Kati Basti, which gives me those results. But along with that, if they do exercise, it gives them long-term improvement because by stabilizing that area, it helps them stay away from pain for a longer period of time and serves as maintenance. So that is how
Just one quick, that's great. But as Dr. Kumar said, there are always two aspects to research. One is the effect itself, right? And which you're saying when you're seeing effect with Kati Basti, they're getting less pain and all that. You also once mentioned to me that putting some Nasya oil helps the neck pain.
Yes.
So I was very intrigued by that also. I want to know the second aspect of that. How do you explain that biologically? I think, yes, effect is most important, but the biological explanation will give you the validation. For example, a lot of people used to treat back pain for problems with sciatica, for back therapy, and eventually, but really the validation was obtained by Mixter and Marr in 1934, showing that the back pain or a foot drop occurs because of a herniated disc which pushes on a specific nerve, and that is the nerve which supplies the muscles which raise the foot. So otherwise people would puzzle, why do you have back pain and you suddenly have a foot drop? So what is the biological explanation for Kati Basti or Nasya oil working for back pain, for neck pain?
So the best biological explanation for that is reduction in inflammation. So reduction in inflammation by holding that oil, because the oil is held over the spine for half an hour daily, and that oil gets absorbed into the deep tissues, and that is what results in reduction of inflammation, when there is reduction of inflammation, obviously the pressure on the nerve reduces.
So it is pretty much like the muscle rub ointments or some move ointments. Is it similar or does it have some other characteristic?
I wouldn't say it is like move, because move or any other ointment like Bengay works with a very different aspect. It irritates the skin and draws your attention away from the pain because now your attention is on the irritation on the skin. That is how most of the local ointments.
That's called gate control therapy. The pain pathways go through superficial path as well as deep. They both go through the same pathway, and you irritate the skin more, so the pain comes from the deeper tissues. There's no door for it to go through. What about the Nasya oil? How does that help? Because that's not, it's not reaching the cervical spine.
Right. So now this is very interesting, and I had the same question when compression of nerve in the neck area, which causes radiculopathy, which is radiating pain from the neck to your arms or shoulders or arms, wherever the nerve, goes, or whichever nerve is affected. You can use, again I use physical therapy for it, because a lot of times cervicalgia is because of bad posture or spondylosis, which is the most common cause for that, and of course bulge disc. So first thing is postural correction, strengthening, isometric strengthening of that area. And next I use Nasya therapy. Now, Nasya therapy is one of the best therapies. I'll first go Ayurvedically and then my understanding of the science part of it. So Nasya therapy is the best therapy to reduce any disease, to fix any diseases above your shoulders. Urdhva Jatrugata Vikara, you do Nasya above the shoulders. Now if you actually look, and this became very clear to me when I actually saw a lateral view X-ray. And that's when I realized that, when you put instill anything in the nose, it first of all crosses the blood-brain barrier. Second of all, if you look at an X-ray on the lateral view, the backside of the nasopharynx is very close to the C1, C2, C3 spine.
Yeah, that's good.
It's extremely close, the nasopharynx to the C1, C2, C3 spine. And which is why when you instill those nose drops into the nose, which again have an anti-inflammatory, analgesic effect because of herbs that are in it, they actually reduce inflammation and pain in that area. It goes straight to the root.
One final, if I can ask.
You've taken